to open something today. I gotta heat up my coffee. This is a new mug I have. Las Vegas with cacti. I liked it because the cacti remind me of me. Okay, before we start, this sleeve is really getting to me, so I'm gonna fold it up. This is how I fold it up with one hand. Let's see how we do. So I just kind of shove it, and then let's try shoving it again. Oh, yeah. So I don't really fold it, I just kind of shove. That'll do. That's fine. Okay, I guess I'll just say it. I'm getting a prosthetic arm. It's happening. Yeah, wow. Now, okay, I've had prosthetic arms in my life. I've had many, a plethora, if you will. Many an arm have been doth laid upon my stump. Not that many in my adult life. In fact, no arms, per se. Just like adaptive tools. I'm getting an arm. Now, here's why and here's how, and I'm really pumped about this. So there's this company called Unlimited Tomorrow, and they create an arm called True Limb. So I'm gonna get a True Limb arm, and they are just starting to open up into Canada to provide arms to people in Canada, and I'm from Canada, so this is very exciting. Why the True Limb is so cool is that it is done all like long distance remotely via internet, via 3D scans and mail. Like, so they're in the States, like New York, and they're gonna send me the arm. And like, I've already done scans for them, and they sent me the sockets. We're gonna try on the sockets today. Basically, like it really removes barriers for, you know, folks who don't have a prosthetist or who can't access, you know, certain medical professionals. And second, they are way less expensive because their team has found a way to like cut out so many of the steps that cost money and that get inflated for cost, and so they are able to provide it at a cost that's way more accessible to people. To me, all that stuff sounds really exciting. But you must be thinking, why? Why are you getting an arm? You don't wear an arm. You've never said you really wanted one. What are you doing? Why? I thought you used your stump for all the things. Well, here's why. So, a long time ago, I got to connect with the Unlimited Tomorrow team, and we talked about me getting an arm and doing like real life reviews about, you know, how it feels, how it works, and what it does for my day-to-day life as somebody who isn't maybe your typical arm user, somebody that hasn't worn one in a long time, but could potentially benefit from having a prosthetic arm. You know, there's so many things that I just don't even know because I haven't had one. And so what they want is like real honest feedback. And let me tell you, I'm gonna put this arm through the hoops. I don't know what I'm saying. And I said, I'm like, I get really like, I'm a cook, I'm in the kitchen, and I'm pretty like rough and tumble. And they're like, yeah, just go for it, have fun, see how it works. We want our users to have like honest reviews and feedback and to see themselves represented. Because I think that people assume that like when you get a prosthetic, like a bionic arm or any kind of prosthetic piece for an upper limb difference, that you wear it all the time and it's going to change your life. But that's not always the case. I think for a lot of people, yeah, they wear it all the time and that really works for them and it's awesome. And for some people, that really doesn't. They might use it for one or two things and not for other things, or maybe they wear it depending on the mood. There's a lot of really complicated and beautiful stuff that goes on between a person and their relationship with their prosthetic. Like, There's so much involved there. Social stuff, emotional stuff, physical stuff. And it also changes as your life changes and as your tasks change and as you grow and as your body changes. So I think what Unlimited Tomorrow wants to do is talk about prosthetics and bionic arms in a more nuanced way, in a way that isn't like, here, let's do a big unboxing video and send arms to kids to change their lives because they have one hand. Like, I think there's a really slippery slope when we, start to see all these messages around prosthetics, really changing somebody's life for the better. Because, yeah, obviously there's going to be lots of ways that prosthetics change people's lives, for good, for bad, everything in between. It really depends. It sends a message that like this person's body was imperfect before, and that this piece of equipment is going to make them more perfect and better, and make them feel good about themselves. And so I think there's a lot to unpack there, and I don't know, I don't want to ever be in a position where I'm sending a message that like you have to have a prosthetic arm to feel good about your limb difference, or to like, I don't know, feel whole or cool, or that you can do stuff. And I've been really lucky that like, so many of the kids that I've worked with throughout my Stump Kitchen career in life, they really feel that nuanced relationship with their prosthetics. They feel like they are tools that help them get a job done. And that's exactly what prosthetics can be. And maybe that job is, this is an arm I'm going to wear 24/7 because this is part of me and it's part of my identity. It's who I am. It's how I like to move through the world. And that's absolutely incredible. Like, I have so many beautiful, powerful, strong, awesome friends who have multiple prosthetics and wear them constantly. And it's incredible how they move through the world and use their prosthetics in ways that I would never imagine for myself. Like, it's just a whole new way of relating with one's body that I really love. It's really, really cool. And then there's the more kind of mixed approach where it's like, yeah, I'm going to use this for a tool. I'm going to use this to play ringette, or, chop some onions, and then take it off and not use it for other tasks. I think what happens is many people in the medical profession say, wear your prosthetic all the time so you get accustomed to it and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes when we're wearing a prosthetic all the time, we can come across way more barriers than we would if we weren't wearing it all the time. And so I think Unlimited Tomorrow and the True Limb, they want this to be a tool that we can use as we need, when we need, where we need, and make it accessible, affordable. I was like, yeah, this is how I want my relationship to be with prosthetics. Like, I've definitely had moments of my life where I've wondered about having a bionic hand and wondered about like, okay, do I want one? How would I use it? And I've thought, okay, if I get one, would it be a huge waste of money because I wouldn't use it all the time? But think about what I just said. Like, I don't deserve an arm because it would be a waste of money. Like, that's so weird. Because they're way too expensive. So they become really inaccessible for a lot of people. And to have money be the barrier between whether or not I have access to an arm, maybe I would really use it and need it for a certain task. Like, that's just so, I don't know, unethical, inaccessible. It just doesn't make any sense. And so, to be able to wonder and think about having a bionic arm without those barriers is really cool. I don't feel like other people are going to be like judging me about getting a prosthetic necessarily. I mean, maybe some will. They'll be like, why are you wearing a prosthetic? You never wear one. And it's like, well, I'm allowed to do what I want to with my body. So, I think what it is like my identity has been so like connected to the fact that I use my stump in really cool ways. And I think that having a prosthetic arm will completely change how I do certain things if I choose to wear it more often than not. And so what is that going to do to my identity? I don't know. I'm curious and a bit nervous to see how it will inform Stump Kitchen, inform my life, inform how I do stuff, change the relationship between me and my stump and my body. So yeah, maybe I'm like not nervous about people judging me. I'm more nervous about myself judging me, and maybe even like, am I able to give myself permission to try this? You know, where maybe I've thought up until this point, like, no, you don't wear a prosthetic, like, this is who you are, embrace it. And so I think I have a lot of learning and unlearning to do around what I'm able to and allowed to access and experience with my body as someone who is disabled, somebody who has a limb difference. So that's going to be an exciting process, and something I'm just realizing now as I'm talking to you. So my whole point about talking about prosthetics and bringing this true limb prosthetic into my life and into my Stump Kitchen journey is to show that, you know, it's not an all or nothing approach. Like, you don't have to, a prosthetic doesn't need to change your life in all of the best ways. It can impact your life. It can be a great tool. It can be something that you wear sometimes, maybe all the time, maybe not very much at all. But it's extremely nuanced, and it can look different for everybody. And I think for me, I want to see more representation of prosthetics in the media in these more nuanced ways. Like yeah, there's like incredible bionic arms out there and people that use them all the time. They identify as cyborgs, and they're this beautiful, incredible, powerful tool that is like part of who they are, and it's just awesome. There's other ways that people interact with prosthetics, like maybe it's more part-time, or maybe it's for certain things, or maybe we get to start hearing about the ways that prosthetics actually don't change our lives for the better. Maybe sometimes they get in the way. So like when you're given a prosthetic arm from your doctor or your prosthetist or whatever, and you're using it, but it starts to not work in the ways that you would have hoped it worked, it can be really frustrating and angering, but also you kind of feel like it's your fault. I mean, that's how I felt. Like, you feel like, okay, well, what's wrong with me? Like, obviously the arm is awesome because it's awesome, you know, because that's the messages that we've been told. So what's wrong with me? What am I not doing right? What am I doing wrong to not make this work for me? And I would love to see that narrative change to like, okay, my body is perfect as it is. It's like different than, you know, the average bear, but it's perfect. And I deserve a tool that I can use when I need to. It's going to enhance certain things in my life, and it doesn't need to take away or cause any further barriers to, or create more barriers in my life. And yeah, we don't hear enough about how many people struggle with their prosthetics. A lot of people get them and just use them once and never use them again. Case in point, my violin arm. And that was a really negative experience that nobody should have to deal with or go through. And yeah, and because we're seeing all these like shiny unboxing videos and kind of like inspiration porn type videos about prosthetics, it can just send the wrong message about you as a prosthetic user being imperfect, where it's actually your relationship with the tool and the tool not being exactly what you need. And so yeah, I can't wait to go on this journey to really talk about honest experiences, my own honest experiences with this arm, with the true limb, to see how I use it, how I don't use it, what it helps me with, what it doesn't help me with. And I'm not going to hold anything back, because the last thing that we need in our life is to have the tools that we use create more barriers for us. That is like the opposite of what accessibility should be. And I'm just really excited because, okay, I'm gonna answer some questions. So Unlimited tomorrow sent me some questions. What are the top 3 activities you'd like to do with your new prosthesis? Wow. Well, number 1, I want to pick my nose because why not? Number 2, I really want to hold like a newspaper or a book open like this, or even better, I hate holding books in bed and reading them because I have to hold it against my leg and like my shoulder gets sore. It's just awful. So I want to hold a book with the prosthetic and then flip a page like that. And then just like, you know, I can't wait. So I'm going to hold a book open. It sounds trivial and small, but like these little things, they can make a big impact in your life, you know? What else? I want to cook with it. Like I really want to try, you know, using a spatula, maybe using some measuring tools. But here's the thing though, like the cooking thing, I want to try those things just out of curiosity, not because I think they're going to be, you know, easier or, you know, the prosthetic's going to make it better. I just think it's going to be different because I know that I already cook extremely well with my Stump in the ways that I do. It's what I do, and I love the way that I move in the kitchen. So I'm just curious to see like how would this prosthetic change my cooking or not. So that's exciting. And then there's tons more stuff I want to do, but I want to save that for future videos because I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna just come up with some random stuff to do. And then the last question is, why did you choose to get a true limb? I think because the values of true limb, you know, around being more accessible and for wanting to be a tool in your life and not like this device that's going to change everything, but just be something that can support your already perfect body in ways that might be small, might be big, I don't know, and really focus on a user-centered approach, really listening to the user, working with the user, and yeah, just being there to enhance your life if and where it can. I think that's a really cool way to approach, I don't know, being an assistive device. I think that's really lovely. And I also really wanted to get it because not only do I like the values of the company, but I don't know, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be amazing. And also, like, as a parent and as somebody who's like, I've had a whole life doing stuff with one hand, you know, I've got some shoulder issues, I've got some back stuff that I'm sure is related to, you know, carrying a baby with my right hand and trying to do stuff. And so I'm curious to know if there's some things that this arm will actually support my physical health in some really cool ways that I may not even be realizing yet. So that's exciting. And I think lastly, I really want to share my experience and put my voice out there to hopefully share a more nuanced relationship with a prosthetic arm, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. And also just like show that, you know, you deserve to have the best tools in your life if and when you need them. Absolutely. And if something doesn't work for you, then you're allowed to have that changed and to be made better. And it's not you, it's the tool and the team that you're working with. So you're allowed to have something that fits your needs. Absolutely. And that you're allowed to wear something sometimes and maybe not all the time, or maybe all the time if you want to. You can sleep with your arm on. You can do whatever you want to. I really look forward to sharing a real, balanced, honest, behind the scenes approach to a new arm user who is actually an old arm user because I've worn arms all throughout my life, in my early life. But now I'm somebody who doesn't. And so, yeah, I hope to put those stories out into the world, and I hope that, you know, somebody gets something out of it. And because we're allowed to talk about stuff when it doesn't work, and you're not bad if your tools don't work for you, and you're allowed to have something that is awesome and will meet your needs. So let's see how this arm goes. I'm excited. Yeah. And of course, if there's stuff that you want to see me try or do, or questions that you might have, put them down below or ask them on any of my social media. I can't wait. Unlimited Tomorrow sent a 3D scanner that is very small that we had to scan my stump with. Then with those scans, they made a socket and they sent me the socket. And I have the socket here today. And I'm going to open that on camera. And I've got a meeting with them very soon to do like a try-on situation. So I'm gonna get set up for that. And I can't wait. So yay. Here we go. We get to open something today. We get to open something today. We get to open the 3D scanner that Unlimited Tomorrow sent me. And it's gonna help me scan my stump so then they can make me a true limb, which is the prosthetic that I'm getting. And I'm very excited. So I'm out of breath from that dancing around. Anyway, my partner Allison is here helping me film.
Hello, hello, buttercups.
What the heck? Whoa! What is this? Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got a card. Oh my gosh! Hi Alexis, so excited to start this journey with you. Cheers, Jen. That's so awesome! Yeah, I'm so pumped too. Yeah, I can't wait. Okay, and I've got stickers, one for my computer, of course. This is so great. And wow, so it looks like we've got a little iPad with the scanner attached to it. I might need to plug it in. But luckily we've got plugins. And here's a plug-in for the iPad. And then this must be the skin tone matcher. And look at all the skin tone matches they have. There's so many. That's really cool. I wonder, like, what would I be?
Have they accounted for how pink stumps are?
Well, it would be matching this hand, not my stump.
Oh, right.
Have you accounted for how prosthetics work, Allison? So I feel like
this is very hard.
It is. I think I'm gonna be somewhere in here, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe we want to match the hand, because I don't want it to be the color of my arm. I want it to be the color of my hand.
So different.
Yes, it is. So maybe
and this isn't even your winter tones.
What about this one? Oh, look, a picture of somebody's stump. Fun. Place a blue sticker on the outside of your elbow and a green sticker on the inside of your elbow. The image shows ideal location at the bony parts in the inner and outer elbow, which can be felt. Okay, with your other hand. Stickers, here we go. I like how they give you two because they expect you to probably mess up. Okay, so green on the inner. They want it on the bony parts. This feels bony to me.
I don't know.
Bit lower. Have a friend or family hold the scanner while you are laying down and holding your arm out in front of you. Pinch the screen to go in and out. Okay, move it. Okay, great. Whoa. Like that. See? You go around. Once ready, hit the start button and move around the limbs slowly. The image will gradually fill in. Focus the camera on areas that are not fully filled in.
Oh.
I think we...
Oh no, see, we missed that
I
section.
think we did it wrong.
Hello.
Okay. Let's try it again.
Yes, see your heart.
This is what the box looks like. And you have to keep your stump in the box. Well, you do, I don't. This is harder than it looks. Okay. Okay, look, we did another one. And it looks pretty good.
It has your thumb, it has your pinky.
It doesn't have my thumb really.
Well, there, see?
I guess.
But not like a ball.
Huh.
I wish we could save a draft, because this is our best one.
Okay, we think we might have figured out what we did wrong, which was I'm not making the cube big enough. I tried scanning her hand and it didn't work. I think it was like, we detect fingers. Error. Hi.
Hey!
Can you... I'm good, how are you?
Everyone's been telling me about you. And I watched some of your videos. I love the Stump Kitchen YouTube.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Gonna open it. Ooh. Ooh. What's this?
It's a weight.
Oh, cool. Okay. Great. Okay, so oh. Okay. So here's like, is this one of the sockets?
So the way you put it on is this is the front part right here. The front part of it. So you got the back part, the bow dials right here. And then you got the front, which is the floating panel right here.
Here's number one. Do you always send more than one?
Yeah, oh yeah. Usually we do 3 or 4.
Okay, well there's 4 here.
Okay.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, all of them are gonna be a little different. So we'll try. Usually there's 1 out of the 4 that is the closest, and then we'll kind of more than likely go different rounds from that. I'll show you how to you do the bow dials.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you pop out the bow dials.
Yep.
Pop them out, and then you slide in, and I think you have a little bit twisted.
Oh, got it.
Yep, is parallel with your elbow
there.
piece.
That's better. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
And then so then you just push in the bow dials. Yep. And then just alternate. And I'll just have you stand up. There you go. And I'll have you put your arms straight down by your side. There you go. And then do some arm curls. Okay.
It's slipping off.
It's slipping off a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. When you bend, does your elbow kind of fold up? Does the skin bunch up and push it off of you?
A little bit, yeah.
It looks like there's a little bit of gapping in the bottom. Are you all the way down into the bottom? Or
No, not quite. Let me get all the way in.
Okay.
I think that's what's happening. Like, okay, I'm all the way in. And then when I tighten, then it kind of, it almost like pushes itself up.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. So yeah, and then now as I'm going back and forth doing this, it's slowly sliding itself. How hard, like how hard are you supposed to be able to pull it off? Like how much resistance should I have? Like should I be able to pull it off?
Well, eventually, I mean, if you, at some point, it's gonna come off, but it should be a large amount of pressure. Like, I don't think that you'll ever put the socket in that amount of pressure throughout your daily life, but it should be like you can try to do that again. Okay.
So that was pretty, like medium easy, I would say.
It should be a little bit harder to pull it off than that. We're getting close.
We are, yeah. I'm definitely feeling that, and I love it. Oh yeah, this is more slippery. It's a lot easier to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there still is, as I tighten it, there's still some, because of the taper, there's some pressure pushing my stump down, and so there's a small gap up, but there's not nearly as much of a gap as there was with the others. And when you say tug of war, do you want Allison to pull my arm off? Can you try?
With the weight on though.
Oh, with the weight on. Oh.
That hurt?
No, no.
Yeah, it took some effort. It took some effort. And I don't think you'll ever have that unless you have someone pull on your arm. I don't think throughout daily life you're gonna have that much pressure pulling against your limb. All right, you have any more questions?
No, I will play around with these. I'll send little videos, send them to you. I'll pick 3 more colors, and I'm just so excited. This is so rad.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your great work. It's so awesome to meet you, and yeah, we'll talk very soon, I guess.
Definitely. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.
That was really rad. I've got my work cut out for me. Looks like number 3 is the close winner. And this is just such a good reminder that like this is not an easy process. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of cooperation, collaboration, back and forth. But we're just like one step closer to getting the finished product, the finished arm. So that's super exciting, super rad. And yeah, just let me know whatever questions you have, anything you want to see me do, any questions you have for any part of the process, any part of this journey, let me know. Oh my goodness, the gas, the burps, so exciting. Any part of this, let me know. And just thank you so much for being here to witness this. And yeah, if you haven't already, I'd love it if you subscribe to Stump Kitchen on YouTube. You can also support me on Patreon. And a huge shout out to all of my incredible patrons, past, present, and future, because you help me do the work that I'm able to do. So thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time on Stump Kitchen. Bye.
Stump Kitchen, gluten-free vegan eats, stumptastic treats.